Hey everyone, the Sonic Racing Crossworlds open beta just wrapped up, and yeah, I've definitely got some thoughts. I spent time testing the racers, the tracks, and the karts that we had access to, and let's just say some things really impressed me, and others not too much. In this video, I plan to break down what worked, what didn't, and whether I'm planning to buy the full game or not. So without further ado, I'm SEGA, and let's get right into it. To talk about my first pro in this game, I want to say this is probably my favorite part of the game. Genuinely, I think the game's roster is one of the coolest rosters in any racing game that I've ever played. I'm a big Sonic fan and I have been for a majority of my life, but this game just happens to bring some of my favorite pieces of media ever all into one game. You have a majority of the Sonic cast, which I think we're gonna end up getting like all of the Sonic cast eventually because the game is live service. You have Joker from Persona, Hatsune Miku, SpongeBob, probably Aang from Avatar, and we're probably gonna get the Ninja Turtles too. I just wanna say, in terms of stacked loadouts, the characters I just listed off Dome are absolutely insane. Like, and there's still more that I haven't even talked about, but more or less, I think this game's roster just happens to have one of the greatest, most grand feeling of a roster ever. Not in any game, of course, because you have things like Smash Bros. Ultimate where genuinely everybody's there, but I think overall, this game for a racing game is doing something, I guess, very Smash-like, very Fortnite-like, where it's just like, damn, he's in there too? Because I'm pretty sure we're also getting Pac-Man. But yeah, that's my first pro. My second big positive is the crossworld system. Honestly, the system is really cool because it makes sure that the game doesn't get stale. It kind of is like a roguelike because based on who's in first place, they help decide what crossworld you end up going to depending on which actual map you pick. And I'm pretty sure there's meant to be like 24 main tracks with like 15 crossworlds, I'm pretty sure. And from what we've seen in the beta, I think just the fact that there's that many that you can mix and match is going to be a really cool setup for it. I think the tracks are really colorful, really bright, very reminiscent of just Sonic in general. Like, I think there's a lot of cool stuff that happens within the game, and a majority of it attributes to what you see around you. Like, there was one track or crossworld, I'm pretty sure, where you like fly into like a lava pit and there's a bunch of flying lava dragons and stuff like that. And I just thought it was really cool. But overall, yeah, just visually going through these crossworlds, I feel like changes up the race diversity so much, to the point where it just gives the game replayability on its own. Like, there's no needed forced, oh, I have to make a challenge for myself, or oh, I'm gonna complete this or that. The game just feels fun to play at base just because you have the whole switch up in the track. And I think that's one of the game's biggest selling points, or should be one of the game's biggest selling points. I mean, it's called Sonic Racing Crossworlds, so I'd hope so at least, but yeah. Last thing I want to talk about is the car customization system. Honestly, this customization system is really cool. So essentially, I'm pretty sure you get to change like your tire, like your back part of the car and the front part of your car, and those affect like your speed and drifting and handling, all the stats of your car. But not only that, you get to put on stickers on your car, change the coloring in terms of like what material the color is and everything like that. You change all the little parts. You can even add auras to your car, which I think is really cool. I feel like just having such a deep customization system for the cars and it being a multiplayer game is really awesome, because there was times where I was playing and I was seeing in the lobby all the people with their cars, and genuinely I was like, damn, I want to make my car like that, or damn, that guy has a nice car, etc. I think just having that part of the game, that cosmetic system where it's just like, wow, I can build my own car, or I can do a little bit more, is really awesome. It also gives you the opportunity to make multiple cars based on what character you're playing, in a sense. And the reason I say this is because the different characters have archetypes, but then the cars also have archetypes. So I can go like a boost speed car racer setup, or I can go like a boost car racer setup. And there's just a lot of variety that I feel like you can put into the game. And then it just gives you a way to sink hours into the game. I feel like a big problem with a lot of racers is after a little while, you kind of just get bored. It's just like, oh, okay, it's just a racing game, right? This one, I feel like it gives you the sense of progression with this customization system where it's like, damn, I really want to level up to get that aura, or I want to have this design on my car that I really want to grind for, etc. And I feel like that's really cool and a very healthy thing to have for a racing game, especially nowadays. Now, moving on to the cons, genuinely, I feel like there aren't very many for this game, but one of my biggest problems with the game is like clarity, dog. Sometimes I'll be playing the game and I'm just like, man, what the hell is going on? Like, I really don't know what I'm looking at or what's going on. And I feel like that is, or might be, a really big turnoff for people. I think a lot of the time when you look at like kart racers or things like that, I feel like it's meant to be hectic, right? Don't get me wrong. I think hecticness for these types of games is meant to be there because it's supposed to be fun, unpredictable, and very replayable. The problem with Cross Worlds, in my opinion, though, I really never know what's going on. After maybe like 30 games or so, I feel like I kind of have an idea of just like the go-throughs, but high key, I feel like it took me that long just to kind of understand what I'm seeing on my screen. And this is only the beta. Like, I feel like I'm still missing out on a bunch of things. I kind of only understand what's going on because I learned the tracks. Now, some people could argue, oh, it's a skill ceiling thing, you're learning, etc., just like you said. But more or less, I really think that if this game, I don't even know what would fix it. It just feels like it's a lot going on. I think it's the way that the colors clash, if anything, because you have a very technical feel on terms of colors. Like, I think maps like the spaceport one or whatever it's called, the launchpad thingy-mabobby, feel a little bit more visually understandable than others. But yeah, there's just levels to it for sure. But if I could fix the clarity, I don't know what I'd do, but I'd say it's definitely like a slight problem. Not a big deal for me. Like I said, I kind of got used to it, but I do think it's very confusing at times. Another thing that I dislike, it's not too big of a deal, but honestly, what I noticed when I was going through settings for the game is it's capped out at 60 FPS or 30 FPS. Like, you only get 2 options. And I'm not too sure if this was just like a beta thing to, I guess, I don't know, give players a more streamlined experience. But dog, there's no reason I should be on PC and have my games capped out at 60. Now, I get capping games for, I guess, making everything smooth overall, right? But I think there's levels to it for sure. I think if you're gonna cap out a game, at least do it 120. And no, I'm no game dev. I don't know really what the effects of having higher FPS and things like that does for a game or for a competitive game. But more or less, all I know is I have a juice PC and I'd like to use it. So more or less, yeah, very minor, I guess, pet peeve. But if the game has higher FPS counts on release, then I'll be really happy. But if not, I mean, it still looks great. So regardless, this is kind of a con, but not really. It's more like just like a little thing that I have an issue with. And yeah. So the very last thing that I really want to talk about, and it's not necessarily a con, but it's so important to me that if it's not there, it's going to be detrimental to me. Like, I'm going to be so sad if this one thing is not there. And what I'm speaking about is vocal tracks in the soundtrack. And yes, I know it's a racing game, and I know you don't necessarily need a vocal track, but if there's one thing that the Sega sound team and any, like, I guess, Sonic game does well, it's the vocal tracks and the non-vocal tracks. Already, I've heard some crazy bangers from this game. Like that one song that plays when you're doing the whole dragon thing. Let me see if I can find it right here. That song is a banger. That song is a banger. But the fact that I have not heard a single word outside of the opening theme for this game makes me really sad. Sega, I'm thinking y'all can't just do that and not have a game without vocal tracks. But if you do happen to not have one, please, if anybody happens to see this, just get me one vocal track, at least one super crazy banger that I can keep on my playlist that'll live with me for the next 20, 30 years of my life, because I love Sonic music so much. And the one thing that always stays with me is the soundtrack. Sonic Frontiers soundtrack is crazy. Sonic in the Secret Ring soundtrack is crazy. Sonic in the Black Knight soundtrack is crazy. Sonic Racing Cross World soundtrack can be crazy too. So please, Sega, please, just let me get at least one song with vocals, and that's it. My life is yours. And to give you guys my final verdict, based on all of my opinions playing the beta and etc, I will definitely be buying Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. High key, even if the beta was horrible, I would have bought the game anyway, just because I love Sonic, and this game I feel like is doing something that no other Sonic game has really done before, which is like the Sonic multiverse all in one. It's really, really exciting for me to just be taking, I guess, a part of this game. If anything, my name is SEGA. I appreciate you guys for making this far. If you have, let me know if you guys are getting the game or not, and then if you are, what character you're most excited to race with. But that's gonna be it for me. Last thing I'll say, I do stream on Twitch every now and then. Link would be in the description. And as I always say, in a while, crocodiles. See you boys later, alligator. Peace out.